Welcome to our Getting to Know Google Chrome webinar. My name is Bob Deneau, an Instructional Technology Specialist here with the district. So today we're going to dive into the Google Chrome browser and find out what it can do for us, how it can make us more productive and save us some time. So the first thing we want to point out is Google Chrome is not Google Drive. Sometimes people are using these terms interchangeably, and they're two very different things. Google Chrome is an internet browser. It is the same as Internet Explorer or Firefox. It is just the browser that has been created by Google. Google Drive is an internet website. You can get to Google Drive in any browser that you want to, but they're both Google products. And you'll see we have the two different symbols. So when you're thinking about Google Chrome, we're going to talk about the browser experience. We're not going to really talk much about Google Drive today at all. There are some advantages to using the Google Chrome browser. First of all, it auto-updates, so you always have an up-to-date browser. This becomes important when sometimes you're using websites and they'll say a browser isn't supported because it's too old or you've forgotten to update. This will update for you. Now, we do also know that just because you have the most updated version of Chrome, it's not going to work perfectly with every internet application. We know that from Infinite Campus this year. Certain websites are designed to work better in certain browsers, and that's something really beyond our control, so we just do the best that we can and use the best browser for the particular application. But with Chrome, you'll always have an up-to-date browser. The nice thing about Chrome is it's the same experience across multiple devices. So whether you're using Chrome on your phone, on your tablet, on your Mac, or even on your PC at school, Chrome is going to look and feel the same. And so that's one of the nice things about this. The other cool thing is you can access recently used browser tabs no matter which device you were on. So if I'm signed into Chrome and I'm using Chrome on this computer, I can actually access things that I had closed out before or had viewed on other machines. And so that can become really handy if you're using multiple devices. And Google Chrome is the browser of choice for Google Drive. Everything is just made to work seamlessly with that. And we know things are never perfect, but you're going to have the best Google Drive experience if you're using Google Chrome. So you may have seen a thing that says sign into Chrome. Well, why would you want to do that? First of all, it is going to activate specific settings. So settings that you set up in Chrome, if you go to another computer and you go to Chrome and you sign in, all of those settings are going to follow you, which is very different than we've always had in the past. Also, your bookmarks will load up for you automatically. So any bookmarks that you have on one machine in Chrome, when you sign into Chrome on another machine, those bookmarks come with you. In the past, whenever you bookmark things to a computer, it was always tied to that computer. But with Chrome, those bookmarks are saved to the cloud, and then when you sign in, those things come up with you. And then any Chrome extensions that you like to use, and we're going to talk more about those if you don't know what those are, those will also load up automatically. So it is really important that if you want these things to travel with you, that you sign into Chrome and get your Chrome settings the exact way that you want them. We'll kind of show you how that works. So here's the Chrome layout, but to get a better feel for this, we're going to actually leave this presentation and we're just going to go to Chrome. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open up a new browser tab here, and I'm just going to go to the Rockwood School District site. So in Chrome, we have what's called the Omnibar at the top. This is where the URL would go. So this is where you type in the URL, but this is also a Google search. So some people are used to having a Google search box. You can just use the Omnibar for this instead. So if I were to search for Rockwood School District, you can see here it's just basically doing a search, and now it's going to take me to that Google search page, and then I can simply go to that. There are other things you can do with this Omnibar. If you clear out all the text and you hit Y and then hit Tab, you'll notice now I'm actually searching YouTube. So this is a way to do a YouTube video search without having to go to YouTube. And there are lots of these little shortcuts like this, and so we will post some resources to that in our additional resources section of our webinar page. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to get this back to going to the Rockwood page. So starting on our left here, we do have our Apps button. So this takes you to what's called your Google app, your Chrome apps. Now most Chrome apps are blocked in Rockwood at this point, we will open up some of those as we kind of see an educational use for those. But there are a couple that you definitely do have access to. One is being your Google Drive. Students will have access to Gmail, and you also have access to the Chrome store. And this is where you can go find Chrome apps, but also where you can find Chrome extensions, and we're going to come back to that in just a minute. So I'm going to go back to our home screen here. You're also going to notice as we work our way across, this is our bookmarks toolbar. So as you bookmark sites, you can have them show up at the top here. Now you'll notice some of mine are just symbols. Others of them have symbols and words. The advantage to using just symbols is that they take up less space, and then you can actually fit more items on your bookmarks toolbar. So how would we go about creating just a symbol? Well, when you bookmark something on here, it's going to automatically come in. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make this a favorite. We're going to say we want to put this onto the bookmarks bar right here, and we're going to say done. And you'll see now Rockwood School District shows up with the generic symbol. If it can pull a symbol, it will. So for example, you can see Google has the little G right there. This is the blogger symbol right there. So let's say I don't want this to take up all that space. I can right click on there and I can go to edit. And I can simply take away the name. And so if I say save, now I just have the symbol, and if I put my mouse over it, it'll actually show the web address. So if you do have a non-generic symbol, like these here, I automatically know what those are. So I can just click on that, and now I've got room for more bookmarks on my toolbar. As we make our way to the right, these things right here are called Chrome extensions. Now these are different from Chrome apps. Chrome extensions work within whatever website you are on currently. If we go to the Chrome apps over here, these will take you to an entirely different website, and they're going to open up a new tab up here. So when I click on Google Drive, it's going to go ahead, it's going to take me to that Google Drive site. Now I don't want that, so I'm simply going to go back here. So that's when I use these Chrome extensions, though, those are actually they're going to actually work within whatever website I'm in currently. Those are going to work right there. So if I want to bookmark something, it's just going to work within that site. So extensions help you with the browser experience. Chrome apps will take you to an entirely different page. And we're going to talk about these extensions more in just a minute. As we make our way to the right, you get the 3 horizontal bars. These are all of your settings. So I want you to notice right now I am signed in with my Rockwood Google account. If you sign in, you can sign in with your Rockwood Google account. It's your last name, first name, at rsdmo.org. And then this is how, when you sign into Chrome now, whatever settings I have, whatever bookmarks I have, whatever extensions I have, when I sign in to Chrome on a different device or a different computer, all of those things are going to travel with me. It's also going to, while we're here, I can also go to recent tabs. And again, because I'm signed into Chrome, I'm saying, wow, here are all the places I've been recently. Here's where I have been on my Chromebook. Here's where I've actually been on my Nexus 7 tablet. And here's where I've been on an entirely different computer. So you can see here it's showing these recent tabs. So if I know I worked on something or I was on a website but I can't remember what it was, I can actually revisit that just through my recent tabs. But again, if I'm not signed into Chrome, I don't get this feature. So if you sign into Chrome, you're going to get some of those additional features, and you'll be able to carry your resources with you. So those are really important things. So we're going to kind of wrap up today talking about these Chrome extensions. Now there are tons of Chrome extensions out there, and we're just going to basically get started with just a partial list. And then we're going to show you where you can access this list and where you can actually add additional Chrome extensions to our list, because we do feel that there are other people out there who are using other great Chrome extensions that we're not going to show today, and we want you to be able to kind of see that entire list. So to find a Chrome extension, you would go over to your Apps button and you would go to the Chrome Web Store. And so the first one we're going to do is called Diigo. And so I'm just going to type in Diigo, and it's actually called the Diigo Web Collector, but if you just typed in Diigo, you would get to the same place. So in the Chrome Store, there are apps and there are extensions. We are going to use extensions because most apps are blocked currently in Rockwood. So you can see here, I've already connected this one. But let's say I wanted to use this one called Awesome Screenshot. I could simply click the free, and it would say, do you want to add this? And it would add this to my extensions toolbar. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so it's going to go ahead, it's going to pop it on there. All of a sudden now you see I have a new extension on here. So that's how you get those extensions onto your site. But now we're going to talk about what some of these different extensions are. So I'm just going to go to a website. Here I went to a blog and found some information. So the first one we're going to use, and these first four we're going to use, they're all about collecting web information or organizing your favorite websites much easier. And so this one, the first one, is going to be called Diigo. It's spelled D-I-I-G-O. So you create a free account at Diigo.com, and then you can get your Diigo web clipper right here, your web collector. Simply by clicking on that, let's say I'm on this website, I want to save this. Either I want to save this to look at later, or I want to save this to be able to share it with somebody later. Because I'm signed into my Diigo account, I can simply click Save. And what it does, it automatically takes the title of the website. You can adjust this if you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and just take the first part out. I can put a description if I want to. But the cool thing about this is I can tag this information. And tagging allows you to find things much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and just tag this with technology and tag it with data. If I don't like the tags they give me, I can actually use my own tags. So I'm just going to use demo, and you can give as many tags to this as you want. Think of tagging as kind of putting it into a folder. So when I save this here, so this has now been tagged in Diigo. So when I'm actually going to go to my Diigo library here. There we go. It's now bookmarked. You can see it's got the red bookmark. So when I go to my Diigo library, you'll notice I have over 1,000 things that I have bookmarked. Now that would be a lot to keep track of. And so the first thing you see when you get to Diigo is here are all of my tags in chronological order, with newest being first, all the way to when I first started using this years and years ago. So you'll see here I have all of my tags along the side, but I can go to what's called my tag cloud, and here are all of my tags. And obviously you see the bigger the name I have, the more items I have tagged. So let's say I'm looking for some app information. Websites I've bookmarked with the apps tag. I can simply click on that, and now what it does is it filters all of my 1,000 tags now down to 33 items here. So I can very quickly say, you know what, maybe this is the app information I was looking for. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take that away right here. And so I have a whole bunch of tags. I can say, you know what, show me this alphabetically. So now I'm saying, you know what, I definitely want to see, what do I have marked for math? So I'm going to go to my M's there and say, okay, I've got 77 sites marked math. And so you can actually go about, finding your websites this way. Now it keeps them nice and organized, and you don't have to necessarily remember, well, where did I save that? If you tag it to Diigo, it's just going to be there, and now you've got it for future use. And the great thing about this is anybody who has this address can also see your tags. So that's great for sharing amongst a PLC or something like that. You can actually be sharing resources amongst your group. So that is Diigo. Another one that is very similar is the Evernote Web Clipper. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually go to, let's say I'm going to go to Rockwood here. So I find a website that I'm like, you know what, I'm an Evernote user, which Evernote, you can get a free account. It works very much like Diigo, except Evernote is also a note-taking website. So it's kind of like Microsoft OneNote and Diigo put together. But the cool thing with Evernote is I get my Evernote Web Clipper, and when I click on that, it gives me some choices here. I can choose the article, which what that'll do is if there's any advertisements or anything like that, it won't copy those. I can do what's called a simplified article, which gives you mostly text, or I can take the entire page. And then I do have some areas I can mark up, I can highlight certain things. But in Evernote, I actually choose which notebook I would like it to go into. So I set up all of these different notebooks, and I can tag this information as well. So I'm just going to tag this with my demo tag here so I can clear that out later. And then I can go ahead and save. And again, with Evernote, you can also share out any of your notebooks, any of your notes, so that you can share those with your colleagues. And so there you go. I have gone ahead and I have marked Evernote. So there we go. We've put that website in Evernote. So the last one I want to show you, if you are a Symbaloo user, we have some teachers who are using Symbaloo. I can very quickly use the Symbaloo bookmarker. And I can go ahead and I can take whatever website I'm currently on, and it's going to pull some information. If it can find an icon, it would go ahead and put it there. I usually like to have the name show up there, and I can kind of choose what this is going to look like. And now I can add this to my Symbaloo page. So again, if I'm a Symbaloo user, now I can start marking things for my students to go to, because many times that's what people are using Symbaloo for. They want one spot where they can put links for their students really easily. So just with one click, I've now added that to my Symbaloo page, saving me a lot of time. Now, if you are a Pinterest user, you can also get your Pin It button put up there as well. So that's another one of those extensions. So those are examples of the resource collectors. I want to finish up talking about a few productivity extensions. One of them is probably my absolute favorite, and it's called Ginger. And it's the G up here. And the nice thing, once you have Ginger on there, Ginger just runs. And what Ginger is a spell checker. So I'm going to go ahead, let's say I was filling out something online. It's also a grammar checker, so it's very much like using Microsoft Word. But all of a sudden now you'll see it's showing me what mistakes I have here, and I know I have mistakes because it has highlighted them in blue. So I can simply say, you know what, this looks good, let's go ahead and fix that. So it's basically just like having your spell check and your grammar check like you're used to using in Office, which is kind of cool. The next one is a YouTube specific extension, and this one's called YouTube Options. So the great thing about YouTube Options is when you're watching a YouTube video, sometimes you're never sure what sort of comments are going to be underneath or what sort of pictures are going to be on the side. This will actually get rid of those for you. So you can see here it's showing in my Omnibar because it's only going to show up there when I'm using YouTube. So when I click on this video, it's going to go ahead, it's going to bring it up here, and it's going to actually, you saw there, it got rid of all of the additional information along the side. So all that information is gone, all those comments are gone, because you never know, that's the thing with YouTube, you never know what you're going to find. So we're just watching the YouTube video. It is also supposed to get rid of any sort of advertisements that play at the front of your YouTube video. So again, it's trying to make YouTube a safer place. Now the next one we're going to look at is for those Google Drive users. So let's say I'm using Drive and I have people who are putting things into shared folders and who are, editing documents that I'm the owner of. I want to know when that's happening. So I'm doing something called Watch Doc. And you'll notice here I have a number 2 right here. And that shows since the last time I've clicked up here, 2 changes have been made either to a document that I'm the owner of or a folder that I'm the owner of. So if you're looking, if I click up here, it takes me, here are those exact responses right here. So I can actually jump straight to that file if I want to right from here, and it's going to open it up in a new tab. But this helps me keep track of our students turning things into a shared folder, or if I shared something with colleagues and they've made changes to it and now I've been notified, because we don't get email notification. So Watch Doc is a way to kind of see what changes are happening in your Google Drive. So if you're a Drive user, that could definitely save you some time because you can quickly see what sort of activity is happening with your Drive. All right, the last one we're going to go to here is a extension called Select and Speak. So let's say students are looking at this website, but maybe they are having issues reading it. Maybe the text is really hard. With this extension, they can have it read to them. So I can simply select the text, and I'm going to click on my text-to-speech or Select and Speech extension, and you'll notice now it's going to, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, it's actually going to read that to them. And they do have some options. They can go ahead, they can change whether it's a male or a female voice, they can change the volume, they can change the speed. But now any text on a page that can be selected can be read to them. So it doesn't matter what website you're on, you're going to be able to do that. So you can see here, these extensions, they are very powerful. They can really help save you some time, and I think they can make your web experience a whole lot easier. So we're going to wrap up today. Going to our Insider page, so I'm going to go to my Insider page here for the Tech a la carte webinars. To get there, on the Insider, you're going to go to Technology. You're going to go down to Instructional Technology. Once you click on that, on the left-hand side, you're going to find Tech a la carte. This is where you'll find the recordings of all of our webinars, but here we also list additional resources. So one of them for this webinar is the Chrome extension list. And so this list is an active Google Doc that anybody in Rockwood has access to edit and add to. So if you're using a really cool, you have one that you really love that you want to use, scroll down and add it to our list. You are definitely able to do that. Or if you've forgotten what some of the things we talked about today, you can actually go ahead, look here. We have a description of all of those with the name that you would use to find it in the Chrome store. While you are on our Tech a la carte page, please take a moment to go to our Tech a la carte feedback form. This is simply a Google form that we are looking to get feedback from you. What are we doing well? What could we be doing better? What sort of topics would you like in the future? I thank you for joining us today, and have a wonderful day.